Today we still have educators sitting at home on JobSeeker, not back at work. Today we have a government who first put educators, gave them the opportunity to be on JobKeeper and then kicked them off. When we still have a sector that is struggling to get back, when we still have a sector, because of the COVID-19 health crisis in Victoria, attendance is still low. And I do worry about the long-term impacts of that. For somewhere along the way, this government changed the conversation from being around early childhood education and care to being about childcare. Let's remember, this is also about the education and care of our youngest Australians, the foundation steps towards primary school. And we know the research says that the early years matter. I do like to hear other people in the chamber talking about, when my adult children were in primary school, and I congratulate them on being at that stage of their life. But as a new mum and her daughter about to start childcare in a fortnight's time, it is a confusing system. I find it confusing. People in my electorate find it confusing. A lot of the chat in the mums groups on Facebook are about how confusing it is to apply for childcare. Where do we sit in the system? The confusion around free childcare. It was an absolute debacle what this government has done, and they've made the situation worse. If we want to talk about the facts around childcare and the cost of childcare, well, let's do that. Under the third term of this government, have now overseen a 34% increase in fees. Childcare costs have gone up, costing more than $380,000 a year. If you want to talk about it in daily cost figures, in my electorate of Bendigo, your childcare fees per day could range from $94 up to $130 a day. And basically what families say to me, what mums say to me in my electorate, is that once you have two in care, it's unaffordable. Once you're trying to pay for two children in early childhood education, it's just not worth it. As other speakers on this side have highlighted, this system is rigged against women who want to work full-time, or dads who want to work full-time. Once you have two parents on dual incomes working full-time, the fees become so unaffordable that one parent ends up staying home or dropping back to part-time work. I've had pharmacists speak to me about this. I've had public servants speak to me about this. I've had mental health nurses speak to me about this. One mental health nurse actually saying that once her youngest finished early childhood education, she actually received more money. She actually was better off financially once both her children were enrolled in school. And that brings me to a point that the minister made. He had a crack about Labor's policy at the last election and about how Labor is trying to find a solution to help fund wages in the sector. First of all, is the minister trying to justify our early childhood educators being on minimum pay? Is that what he wants? Women working in this sector with degrees and diplomas locked into minimum pay. Second, does he not acknowledge that this government, all federal governments, actually help subsidise wages in a number of industries? Why is it we put billions into private school education, but we can't put the billions in to help fund the wages of our early childhood educators? This government, when it comes to childcare and early childhood education, are out of touch. Their budget left women behind. Their budget continues to leave this sector behind, and they need to do better.